can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch.
My wife said, no,
Podcast
Gabriel,
brought to you by
leave. I
Golden
said, no.
Gray Productions. Today, we're back with our final question mark YouTube exclusive mini episode where we'll spend the next 15, 30 minutes discussing the FX/Hulu series The Bear. This week, we are closing out season 3, discussing episodes 7 through 10 and handing out some James Beard Awards. The Bear stars the handsomest of handsomes, Jeremy Allen White, Ebon, Moss-Bachrach, Edebiri, Lionel, Boyce, Abby Elliott, Matty, Matheson, Liza, Colón-Zayas, and Oliver Platt. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Robbie, and alongside me is the cuss, Mr. James Beard himself. Benny, how we doing?
Doing good, and babe, you're the Matty to my Matheson.
Oh, please. High praise coming from you. And alongside the cuz and myself, our good friend and co-host, Ryan. Ready for that Chicago Tribune review?
I was until they didn't show it to us, but we'll get to that, I'm sure.
It's a cool letter tease.
I'm not a fan. But anyway, yeah, like Robbie said, Let the Boys Watch. We're talking about The Bear. I think, we're focusing on episodes 7 through 10, but I'm sure there will be a lot of overall season talk. So I don't know if you guys want to start with that, or maybe kind of go in order with the episodes. We are doing 4 here, so whatever you think is best with that.
I'm gonna jump around a little bit if that's okay with you, because I feel
go ahead.
7 and 9 were kind of not, I don't want to say nothing episodes, but they were the flip-flops of 2, I think, very important episodes. I really enjoyed the sugar birth episode. I thought it was this show has found so many ways to make an anxiety episode, and like this was just another one of them. And it just to be in the room and to not have that, rosy I'm having a baby episode, but to be like you're in it with these 2 characters. And I thought, I was never Team Sugar. I thought she was like a cool side character. Didn't really think too much about her. I probably wouldn't list her in my top 5 favorite characters in the season, or the show, I should say. But I thought she was amazing in this episode. I thought Jamie Lee Curtis, wow. She was great last season, but I feel like they leaned so heavy into she's just this crazy psycho woman. Like the depth of her character in this episode. And I guess that's kind of the point too, because she was kind of in the depths of her craziness in Seven Fishes. And in this episode, she kind of coming to terms with how she acted, and she understands a little bit more, but she still is that person and she's fighting it. As that was just such a great episode to me. And honestly, might have been top 3 favorite episodes of the entire series, just because
Wow.
that it was so intense and it was so different. And I've never seen an episode like that. And I'm sure it got some weird hate from people online. Like I browsed through a Slate article on the show, and I just hate, man, when people have nothing to do but just to pick out every little negative thing that they can. And like that's their whole kind of critique style, is just to shit on things. But I really enjoyed that episode, and I thought the 2 of them, like I said, we've had so many episodes where just focus on one character, and halfway through the episode I'm like, oh, all right, this is just this person episode, and I don't know how I'm feeling it. But at the end of every one of those episodes, I'm like, that was so worth them dedicating an entire episode to this one person, and this was no different.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with some of the things you said. I think the acting in that episode was fantastic. And I agree that I think all of the episodes that focus on one person. At a certain point during this episode, personally, I was kind of like, all right, like I wasn't as entranced as it sounds like you were. And I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that I've been in that hospital room twice now. And I think it probably brought back memories of it's like hurry up and wait the entire time that you're there. And listen, I wasn't doing anything except waiting. You know, full credit goes to my wife there, but um yeah, I don't know. This was my least favorite of the singular character episodes, honestly. I liked Richie's probably the best. Second Marcus, third I can't think of her name. Tina, thank you. And but not, Tina was close. Yeah, this I don't know. I liked it a lot, and I love the acting, and I love the depth of character, like you said, for Jamie Lee Curtis. But at a certain point, I was kind of like over it a little bit. Like I wanted it to just go, but I think maybe it's my own personal issues.
Well, I did not like that episode. It was too much for me, too much Jamie Lee Curtis. I know there's something about Jamie Lee Curtis that I don't like. Maybe it's because I don't like women-centric episodes. I hate them. They stink. No, I don't know. There's something about Jamie Lee Curtis that just rubs me the wrong way. I do love Abby Elliott. I think she's a good actress, and I understand what they were going with that episode. But like with Ryan, there was points where I was like, okay, um, let's move this along. And I think it had to do mainly with Jamie Lee Curtis, but I understand the reason for it, like the generational trauma that the mother caused for everybody in that family, and what that's like to grow up with, and that's like to live with at an older age. And Sugar's at like one of the most important points in her life, and one of the most stressful moments in her life, and she doesn't want anything to she'd rather just do it herself and not even call her mother. That's the last resort to do, because she doesn't want to deal with that. And as soon as Jamie Lee Curtis showed up, all that anxiety just came to the forefront, because it's like, oh my God, this lady's just 100%. Like she just at the word go, just out of it, and just making everything so much more than it needs to be. So I understand that, and I get it. And hopefully that dynamic and that relationship switches because of it. But yeah, this was my least favorite of the kind of singular episodes featuring each character. I think, of course, Richie's was number one. I think Tina's was number two for me. I love that episode. But yeah, this one really didn't hit for me. I didn't enjoy it. Maybe because I'm still staying in that Jamie Lee Curtis beat the other lady in Everything Everywhere All at Once for an Academy Award.
Yeah, that's
It
Stephanie Sue,
Stephanie,
I
yeah.
think, erasure. But yeah, I mean, I never was really a big Jamie Lee Curtis fan either. But I don't know, man. Something about this episode with her, I was like, wow. Like I don't know. I found it really
captivating.
good. Yeah, really captivating. And yeah, even like something as small of the moment as they had this breakthrough, kind of, there was a lot of emotion. And then as soon as Pete walks in, she walks out of the room and she's kind of like, all right, I'm not really even needed at this point anymore. And not that Sugar was like, all right, get out. We're good now. It's just she kind of sees her role. And I think she was kind of relishing the fact that she really could be there for Sugar in that moment. And then, as soon as Pete walks in, she realizes, all right, I mean, this is who should be here right now. And she does kind of, in a way, gracefully kind of bow out of the situation. But there's still all that stuff that they went through. And, just the way it ends with her with the facts at the end. And, I don't know, man. I don't know why this one hit so hard for me, but I just thought it was, like I said, I love the super anxiety episodes. And, I just thought that it was a cool way to have that same feeling from an episode in a way that I didn't expect at all.
Oh, agree. Curious what her due date actually was, because why is Pete traveling for work when she's about to like give birth? But I'm nitpicking here.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Should we talk about, I mean, anything in episode 7 or 9? I kind of agree with you, Benny, where they were sort of filler episodes to a certain extent. Trying to think.
My thing, I think it was 9 that annoyed me was the facts going to
Oh, Claire.
Claire Bear's
That was
job.
9. Yeah.
Like that was there was no need for that. Like again, like we talked about it with Game of Thrones, like what are we doing here? Like this was a waste of having Claire in the season because nothing led up to anything. Right? Carmy didn't do anything. He didn't apologize. He didn't have an epiphany and wake up and realize like, hey, this is the greatest thing ever. I should try and, get past my issues and work on my issues, but still have Claire in my life and apologize to her for what I said when I didn't mean what I said. But then having the facts go there and then just like kind of like hounding her and annoying her at her job and having to have her now relive all that stuff when she was trying to get over it. And then they come over there and they put all that pressure on her. And now she's reliving everything. And now she's thinking that hey, maybe I cleared a hurdle here and I'm okay. And now they come into her place of work where it's already stressful enough that she has to deal with enough shit. And now she's got to deal with these two saying how much Carmy loves her and this and that. Yeah, that's great, but that's not coming from Carmy's mouth, right? It's coming from these two guys' mouth. That doesn't mean anything. That imagine how you would feel if that happened to you. So I didn't like that. That was annoying. I didn't like her story arc the whole year. There was no reason for the flashbacks. There was no reason for her to be involved in this season if nothing came of it. Yeah, if stuff's gonna come out of it in season 4, great, but like there was no depth to her character this year. She was just in it just to relive some past moments from season 2.
Yeah, I don't know if what they've confirmed as far as next season of The Bear. It kind of feels like The Boys in a way where this is the setup to the final season, and a lot of those things are going to get paid off next season. But
Hope so.
I agree with what you guys said, I think on Going Gray a few weeks ago, where it just feels like one big setup for next season. Like everything is going to pay off next season. And I could see why that bothers people because you just invested 5 hours in this season and like nothing got
Not
resolved.
much happened. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was a lot of, all right, you get your day to day in the restaurant, which is always, fun, to kind of live that anxiety and see how things are going. You get your comedy out of that stuff too. We got a couple of our singular character episodes, but none of the arcs came to an end. Nothing
Right.
happened with Sydney. Like we got no resolution there.
Nope.
We got no resolution with Richie and the
Carmy.
wedding. Yeah,
The wedding.
nothing with Richie and Carmy. Nothing with Carmy versus himself. Nothing Carmy Claire. Like really, none of those. Even Sydney with the other restaurant. None of that stuff got resolved at all. Like if one or two of those things got wrapped up, I could see people liking the season more. Again, I enjoyed it for what it was kind of, but I definitely wish something would have happened in these last couple episodes. Even the Joel McHale, it was so anticlimactic with how that ended. I mean, again, and that's just kind of like real life. That's probably going to be the interaction you would have if you confronted somebody like that. But still, there was nothing even to that.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. That's like totally real life because someone like Joel McHale probably spent 0 seconds thinking about Carmy. Meanwhile, Carmy's thought about him since he left for probably hours and hours. And it's just like, he's just like, yeah, I don't give a shit.
And not only that, how many other people has he done that to?
Right. Probably numerous.
Before and after.
Yeah. And he wasn't wrong. Technically, he's like, are you a better chef?
It's the whole Whiplash
Yeah.
thing. It's Whiplash in short form, except they both, at the end of Whiplash, you kind of see
Wait, hold on. Did Robbie see this? Whiplash?
We did an episode.
We did an episode and let the boys watch. Stupid fucks.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
sorry,
I
Miles
can't hear
Teller
you.
at the end of the episode, Miles Teller kind of acquiesces to that, and he's happy, and J.K. Simmons is happy, and they kind of into their own little fuck fest between the two of them. Whereas this, I mean, yeah, he pushed Carmy, and Carmy became better, but Carmy clearly came out for the worse.
Yeah, but Carmen's also using some of those, not those tactics on other people within the restaurant. I mean, not to the extreme, but you could see him acting like Joel McHale's character did in some scenes within the series. Not to the extent to the extreme, but he's somewhat turning into the chef that he didn't want to turn into, especially the guy that's giving him ulcers and stuff like that. But yeah, that's so true. That's such a real life interaction, like where somebody that doesn't think about you for 1 second of their day, but you spend so much time focusing on something that happened years ago. It still sticks with you to this day. So yeah, it's a tough one, but I don't know. And even with that episode, I enjoyed that episode. It was nice to see all those real life chefs in there. So many high profile, important chefs. I loved the French Laundry aspect of it. That was really awesome. That was cool. And yeah, it was nice. It was a good one. But again, no resolutions to anything is tough. And I don't agree with that way of writing a show or having a season. Like, yeah, I could say that because I'm not in the writer's room, but I mean, I am part of an audience that watches this show and spends time with it and dedicates that half an hour to it, or a couple of hours to it a night when it came out. Like, I'm not here for a payoff in season 4. I'm here for some kind of payoff in season 3, and that's what I'm here for. Like, I could when season 4 comes, give me something else. That's what you're writing for, right? You lead up to lead up to all this. You lead up to a Claire and Carmy resolution. You lead up to a Richie and Carmy resolution. You lead up to all these type things. It's Sydney deciding whether she's going to take this job with the other guy or not. Like, I don't need that in season 4. Come up with something else. That's what you're getting paid to write about. Like, that's what this show's about. Come up with something different. Give me a payoff with something. Like, you have the Tribune review. Okay, I get that. You want to play that off to next season. You have an entire season story length with what's his name? Oliver Platt's character now not having enough money to fund this restaurant. So where are you going to go with that? That's an entire season you could focus on. So like give me some payoffs, and it didn't happen. And I think that's lazy, and I don't like that.
I mean, I definitely feel the same way as you. I just think I'm more optimistic when it comes to a show as a whole. But what if it ends and it ends poorly, I'm gonna flip 10 times the other way, like I did with Game of Thrones, where I was like, all right, let's see what happens. Let's see how it plays out. There's a couple more episodes left. And even when it ended, I was like, all right, I mean, yeah, I get it. But then, like, as I sat with it and thought about it, I'm like so mad about Game of Thrones. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to like get to the point where I have a really negative opinion on it, but I won't get there until after the show ends. But I definitely feel the same way as you. Like there were so many things. Like I wasn't even thinking about the Oliver Platt storyline, or even the fact that you do get that cliffhanger at the end with the review. Like you don't even get that.
Yeah.
And there's just so many things that you just didn't get the answer for anything.
At least give us that something, because then if you give us the review, then we can then speculate on, okay, so the review was good, then what's going to happen? Or the review is bad, then what's going to happen? Like you don't have to give us a full resolution, but give us something. Like give us an appetizer here while we're waiting for the full meal, like something.
Well, and two, like the review is almost kind of the perfect cliffhanger,
Right.
right? But like because you left all these other questions open, like you could have answered the Sydney question, and then Sydney's leaving, but we also have the cliffhanger now that we don't know what the review says. Did Sydney
Right.
make the right choice?
Right.
Maybe Sydney got out just in time, maybe she didn't, maybe they got a crazy great review. But to leave it all on a cliffhanger, it leaves you feeling a little unfulfilled.
Yeah. No, totally agree. And real quick, do we all agree that if she does take the other job with the guy from the other chef, that she's gonna immediately regret it and try and go back to the bear. That's how I feel.
I want to answer that question after I ask Robbie this question. You have stated before you're out on Sydney, 100%. Do you want to expound on that before we answer that question? Because I think there's a lot of meat on that bone when it comes to Sydney.
Well, I think what I said last time still rings true. I think that she owes a lot to Carmi. I think she can still learn from Carmi. I think she's not a perfect individual. I think she doesn't treat her dad good. Um, I think she has a lot of her own issues. I think she's maybe sniffing, as Ryan likes to say, like I said, sniffing her own farts a little too much. I think that they prop her up to be something that she's not. Maybe she's a good chef, but I think that she can still learn from Carmi. I don't know. I just don't think her character is who she thinks she is. I think that she thinks she's more highly of herself, and I guess you need that, right? You need that confidence in anything you do. I get that, but I think that Carmi gave her a shot. Yeah, it's a tough working for him, of course. Um, but I think he really does care about her. I think he has a vision. I think he wants that vision to succeed. I think he definitely, I don't think he would just make her, you know, a partner no matter how bad the conditions are, or, I'm not up to it or what the other guy offered her. But I think he definitely sees something in her. I think she should just like chill out. Like Carmi spent fucking years honing his craft, going everywhere. I mean, what has she done? Truly, what
Is
has she done?
isn't this her first like big girl job out of culinary school?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's to answer your question, Ryan. Like, I think I don't know if she's going to leave or not, but I think if she leaves, it is going to blow up in her face so
So bad.
spectacularly that like it's going to be a complete failure. I don't know if she's going to end up going back hat in hand to the bear, but she has no idea what she's in for. And I made a really good point last night when we finished that. Um, she she was the one that wanted to go for the Michelin star, and she was not ready for what that entailed. And when she got a taste of it, she completely lost it, and she couldn't handle the stress of doing what it takes to get the Michelin star.
Yeah, it's like she doesn't want to put any kind of, and I'm not saying she doesn't want to put any hard work in, but she just wants everything handed to her in the moment. Where somebody like Carmi, for all his flaws and all his faults, is just driven to be the best that he can be and the best chef that he wants to be. And he's putting in hours and he's putting in work and he's going, overseas to Copenhagen and he's working at the French Laundry and he's working at Daniel and he's working at 11 Madison Park. He's doing all these things. And I mean, to just have that opportunity to work with somebody like that, no matter how bad his flaws are, I get it, but just to learn and see the drive and see the dedication, it just, I don't know, she just annoys me, her character. And not a lot of people in the show do annoy me, but I just feel like she thinks she's entitled for something that she really hasn't worked hard for. And he kind of handed stuff over to her. Yeah, he took it back, and I get that, but he had the confidence in her right out of culinary school. Like, yeah, who's that happening to? Truly, who's not
Yeah.
paying their dues somewhere as a line chef or a sous chef somewhere, working their way up somewhere. She came over there and he saw something in her and gave her an opportunity. And yeah, he's not the fucking best person to work for. And yeah, his dishes, she's not getting her dishes that she wants. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what she wants. But like you said, she's in for a rude awakening if she thinks that any other place that is different.
I think even the whole idea that he is his name Adam, that guy.
I think so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think his name is like his real name in real life too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is it Adam Shapiro? No,
Adam.
that's somebody.
Yeah. But like, so he went to the bear once, and had a couple dishes that he said felt fresh, like they weren't like Carmy. So he's maybe assuming that it's her influence, but like that's all he's going on to offer her this position where he probably knows even anyone in the kitchen at the one that's closing, whatever it's called, or like
Ever.
ever, thank you, or like any other kitchen since he's probably been at this for several years. So like it just seems weird, and she's like falling upward, and I agree. I think if she does take it, it's gonna blow up in her face, and or it's like him just offering her this job because he wants to like sleep with her or like something. There's something there that just makes this off, and I don't. I mean, I think for the story, I think she's gonna take it, but if this was real life, I'd tell her not to.
And nobody sees her in there. And nobody sees him in there. Richie doesn't see him in there. He just sneaks
Yeah,
in.
I think we said that, like, yeah, right. Like Richie knows every table and everyone going on, and he doesn't notice. Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
What else? If
I
anything.
just nothing. I just feel like everything I'm watching at the moment, sans the boys, has been no resolutions. I mean, I still be great that we have one more episode of House of the Dragon, so that could change, obviously. But as of right now, it's just everything's just up in the air, and like I feel like that's okay, and I don't think it's okay. I don't like the way this season ended. I don't like the way this season progressed. Um, there was too much, meat and potatoes to kind of close out, uh, and they didn't close out. I think there was plenty of storyline to continue in a fourth season. Like I said, you have even if you didn't get to the review, you have the review now, and now that review, and you have Oliver Platt's. The money's gone now. There's no way to fund the restaurant, so that now that could base off if they get a good review. All right, so maybe more investors want to come in. And if they get a bad review, all right, what the hell's going to happen
Now
now?
what
Like
do
you
they
can leave
do?
it at that. Yeah. And they didn't close, nothing got closed out.
Not the
But let's have fucking John Cena come around and act like an idiot for fucking 15 minutes and do that. But and again,
yeah,
I'm out on John Cena. I've said it. I'm still out on John Cena, and that's that.
yeah. No, I think I agree, and it bothers me as well when like nothing happens, but there's so much filler throughout the season that you're like, why did you? And I think the answer to this every single time is probably money, meaning the network or whomever's in charge is like, well, we got to stretch this to an extra season or whatever the reasoning is. But that pisses me off when, yeah, was it funny when John Cena came on? To me, yeah, it was funny, but like, we didn't need that. We could have spent that 8 minutes or whatever on the review or more on like Oliver Platt or Sydney or something, anything.
I saw some people talking about the writer's strike might have had a little something to do with the unevenness of it, but I can't
Maybe.
confirm that at all.
Yeah, I don't know. And as we always said, like, what do we know? Like, maybe there's a reason for this. Maybe it will make sense whether any of these shows at the, once it concludes, and we'll be like, all right, then as a whole, this looks much better. But episodically and this season left me. I liked it. I enjoyed watching it, but it left me wanting more, and I didn't like that.
Do you guys think the review was good or bad?
The review. Oh,
I think it was good.
I think so too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Me too. It's too much. It was too much of a reaction from Carmy, and I think that in a way he wants it to fail or to be done with it. Like he gave him that out there to be like, all right, bad review, we're done. And now he's like, I think he sees how the chef from Ever was kind of unburdened by leaving the restaurant business behind. And now he's going to feel like he needs to keep going with this restaurant and make that money back.
I don't know. I guess hopefully we will find out in season 4.
Maybe season 4, season 5.
Yeah.
Season 12. We'll find out in season 12 when Carmen
Yeah.
actually gets a good review.
Every time they go to look at the review, it's like, my phone's broken or something stupid. John Cena came in and hit me in the face.
There's just one whole episode of them at the Apple store waiting to get their phone fixed.
That's the singular episode.
Yeah.
It's the Genius Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clay moved to Florida. Let's go follow her and bring her back and tell how much Carmen loves her in episode 10. Yeah. You can only be in the present with these episodes. I don't care about the payoff in the end. You're in the present. Figure something out and end something.
Maybe.
All right. All right. I don't know. Do we want to? Before we get to that, is there anything else we should bring up about this season or these 4 episodes? We are trying to keep these a little short.
Yeah, those are my top thoughts, really.
Yeah, kind of same. Do we want to rate this season?
You rate it. I'll go 7.9 on the season.
Yeah, I'm right in that realm too. I'll go 8 flat, 8.0.
I'll go 7.5. I'll go my LVP for the season was Sydney, and my MVP for the season, as always, is Richie.
Blessings.
Nice. Okay. All right. I guess that's it. Hopefully, season 4 comes soon, and we'll be a lot happier again. I enjoyed it, but it was a little disappointing in the end. It seems like you guys kind of feel the same, but I don't know. Check out all our other stuff: House of the Dragon, The Boys, watching movies once House of the Dragon is over. But we got a ton in the can. So if your favorite movie, like Whiplash, that I forgot we did so many I can't even remember.
Down in my plums.
So check us out, subscribe. We love you.
A rap at the door, my young son Gabriel
Good night,
walks
Rob.
in. My wife said no.
Good night, Uncle Jimmy.
I said no.
Finals fun.
Let the boy watch.
Amen.
Let the boy watch. He needs to learn the way I